6:13 hours. Caribbean Sea. Location: international waters, north of Venezuela. The Caribbean was supposed to be calm. Blue water, clear skies, routine patrols. Nothing about it suggested war. Then the warning tone echoed across the bridge. 6:14 hours. First contact. Radar contact. Fast movers. The tactical officer snapped to the screen. Bearing 270. Multiple tracks, sea skimming. The captain stepped forward, eyes narrowing. Classification: a pause, too long, unknown. Low altitude, high speed. The captain didn't like unknowns. Not this close. 6:16 hours. The pattern emerges. More tracks appeared, then more. They weren't aircraft. They weren't civilian. They were coming in tight formation, hugging the ocean surface, designed to stay invisible until the last moment. The weapons officer's voice tightened. "Sir, profiles match anti-ship missiles." The bridge went silent. 6:17 hours. Confirmation satellite data updated. Electronic intelligence lit up. A calm voice from the Combat Information Center cut through the tension. Launch signatures detected. Source appears to be Russian naval assets operating in the southern Caribbean. The captain felt the weight settle. Russian fired on us? Yes, sir. There was no misunderstanding. No warning shots, no radio challenge. Live weapons, live targets. 6:19 hours. General quarters. The alarm blared. General quarters. General quarters. This is not a drill. Sailors sprinted to stations. Weapon systems spun to life. The Caribbean sun glittered off calm water, mocking the chaos unfolding beneath it. 6:21 hours. Defensive systems. Engage Aegis radar locked on. Threat rings expanded across the display. Targets at 30 miles and closing fast, the weapons officer reported. Engage, the captain ordered. Weapons free. Interceptor missiles erupted from vertical launch cells, streaking skyward like spears of light. 6:23 hours. First intercepts. High above the waves, explosions flashed. One missile vanished, then another. Splash! Second target destroyed. Track 3 still inbound. The captain leaned forward. How many? The answer hit hard. Too many, sir. 6:25 hours. The saturation problem. The incoming missiles weren't coming straight. They split. They weaved. They attacked from different angles. Classic saturation doctrine. Designed not to beat defenses. Designed to overwhelm them. The weapons officer shouted, "We're burning interceptors faster than expected." The captain clenched his jaw. Keep firing. 6:27 hours. The first impact. One missile slipped through. It struck the water just off the port bow, detonating in a towering column of fire and spray. The ship rocked violently. Alarms screamed. Minor hull damage. Fire in compartment 2. No breach. Containment holding. The captain exhaled, but only briefly. 6:29 hours. More missiles. Incoming radar still showed red. Too much red. Sir, second wave inbound. Same bearing. The intelligence officer's voice was quiet, almost stunned. This wasn't an accident. The captain nodded grimly. This is a message. 6:31 hours. Where did they fire from? A new report arrived. Source confirmation: Russian surface combatants operating under training posture near Allied ports. The captain's eyes flashed. They launched from cover. Yes, they had used geography, diplomacy, and deniability. 6:34 hours. America responds. Carefully. Back in U.S. command centers, the feeds lit up. Live fire on U.S. naval vessels. No ambiguity. No gray zone. The message moved fast. Up the chain, across oceans. The question wasn't if America would respond. It was how far. 6:37 hours. The final intercepts. The last inbound missiles were engaged. Explosions stitched the sky. Radar finally began to clear. Threat neutralized, the weapons officer reported, but the damage was done. Smoke rose from the deck. Injured sailors were being treated. The ship still floated, but the line had been crossed. 6:41 hours. Silence after fire. The Caribbean returned to calm. Too calm. The captain stared out at the horizon. "Signal Fleet Command," he said quietly. "What message, sir?" The comms officer asked. The captain didn't hesitate. "We have been attacked by Russian forces." 6:44 hours. The world reacts. Markets dipped instantly. Diplomatic hotlines rang. Russia said nothing. That silence was louder than any explosion. 06:48 hours. The question. In a secure room far from the Caribbean, a single question echoed. Do we absorb this or answer it? The answer was already forming. 0652 hours. Orders incoming. The captain's secure console chimed. He read the message once, then again. His expression hardened. Set condition 1, he ordered. Prepare for follow-on operations. The Caribbean patrol was over. The missiles had flown. The message had been sent. And somewhere beyond the horizon, American forces were already moving, quietly, decisively. Because when U.S. ships are fired upon, the response never stays local. 0701 hours. U.S. Naval Command, Atlantic Theater. There was no debate, no hesitation. The moment the confirmation came in, Russian missiles fired on U.S. warships, the rules changed. This was no longer deterrence. This was response. 0704 hours. Authorization. Granted, a secure order flashed across encrypted channels. Execute Caribbean Response Package. Commanders across air, sea, cyber, and space domains received the same message. Short, clear, final. America wasn't preparing to send a warning. America was preparing to dominate the battle space. 0708 hours. The Atlantic stirs. Beneath the waves, U.S. attack submarines altered course, depth adjusted, speed increased. Weapon systems came online. Russian naval vessels, still operating under the assumption of limited escalation, were already being tracked with surgical precision. They just didn't know it yet. 0712 hours. Air power moves. First from U.S. air bases and carrier decks, aircraft launched in rapid succession. F/A, 18 Super Hornets, armed for maritime strike. F-35s slipping into stealth corridors. Electronic warfare. Aircraft flooding the spectrum. Russian radar operators began reporting anomalies. Then outages. Then nothing. 0716 hours. Cyber blindness. Before the first American weapon hit, Russian command systems faltered. Navigation data corrupted. Targeting feeds delayed. Communications desynced. A Russian officer shouted into his headset, "We're losing contact with the flotilla." There was no reply. 0719 hours. The first strike. The retaliation didn't announce itself. It arrived silently. Long-range precision missiles slammed into Russian support vessels operating behind the front line. Fuel ships, command relays, sensor platforms. Explosions tore through decks. Fire spread uncontrollably. The Russian formation fractured instantly. 0723 hours. Naval hell breaks loose. U.S. strike aircraft descended from altitude. Anti-ship missiles streaked across the water, skimming just above the waves. Russian air defense systems reacted too late. One warship lost power. Another took a direct hit amidships. A third vanished behind smoke and flame. This wasn't a skirmish. This was neutralization. 0727 hours. Panic on the Russian side. Survivors transmitted frantic distress calls. Missile hit. Multiple casualties. Command systems down. We're under sustained attack, but no reinforcements came. No air cover arrived. They were isolated. 0731 hours. U.S. ships. Hold the line back. With the original U.S. task group, defensive systems remained active. Missile tubes hot. Guns trained outward. Sensors sweeping the horizon. The captain watched the tactical display update. Enemy contacts were disappearing, one by one. 0736 hours. Russia breaks. Contact remaining Russian vessels turned away at high speed. Smoke trailed behind them. Their attack posture was gone. Their message answered. 0740 hours. Strategic shock. The news spread fast. Allied capitals demanded briefings. Neutral nations went silent. Markets trembled. This wasn't a regional incident anymore. This was a line drawn in open water. 0745 hours. The back channel. Lights up. A secure diplomatic line activated. The Russian voice was controlled, but tense. This escalation was unnecessary. The American reply was calm. "You fired first." Silence followed, then a quieter tone. "We are disengaging." 0750 hours. The aftermath. Fires burned on damaged ships. Debris floated in the Caribbean sun. Rescue operations began. For both sides, no victory was declared. None was needed. 0756 hours. Final assessment. A classified report circulated hours later. Hostile naval action neutralized. U.S. forces retained full operational control. Adversary capabilities degraded. Deterrence re-established. Short, cold, decisive. Russia fired missiles to test resolve. America answered by rewriting the balance of power. Without touching a single city, the Caribbean returned to calm waters. But everyone watching understood one thing. When U.S. ships are attacked, the response doesn't shout. It ends the conversation.